Hi everyone, welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss some important terms related to decision tree. So the first important term is a root node. So the node from which the split start is called the root node. So here we are at our root node from which the split start. This is also called as the first node of the decision tree. So this is the most important node because the performance of a decision tree depend upon this node. The next is a leaf or a terminal node. So the node where classification is finalized and we cannot do further split of the data. So that node is called leaf or terminal node. So here is the first example of a leaf or terminal node. We can see that here the data has been classified into a class B and we cannot do further split. So that node is called leaf or terminal node. Similarly, that node is also a leaf or a terminal node. Here the classification has been finalized and we cannot split further. Similarly, these two nodes are also leaf or terminal node of this decision tree because here the classification is finalized and further split is not possible. Now, another concept is a parent and a children node. So the every node in the decision tree which represent the split is called the parent node. This is the first parent node of the decision tree. This is the second, and this is the third parent node. So the parent node is split into the branches that is called the children node. So the nodes which derived or which extract from the parent nodes are called the children node. Okay, so these two are the children node of this parent node. Similarly, these two are the children node of this parent node, and this parent node also created two children node. So in this way, a tree has many parent and children node. So the parent node is different from the root node. There is only one root node in a tree, but there may be more than one parent node. So the root node is only the first node from where the split start. But a parent node is every node in a decision tree which represent the split. The next concept is tree and a subtree. So basically a tree or a complete tree is a combination of many subtree. In a subtree, we have a parent and a children node. We have a parent and a children node. So if we combine all these subtrees, we get a complete tree. So tree is the combination of a subtree. In a subtree, we usually have a parent and a children node. We can see in this figure that we have three subtrees. So these three subtrees combine together to form a complete tree. Another very important concept in a decision tree is a pruning. The concept of pruning comes from the agriculture science. So what happens if there is a tree or a plant and it has a branch which affects the growth or the development of the tree? So we cut that branch. So the cutting of unimportant branch from a tree or a plant is called pruning in agriculture science. Similarly, in machine learning, we also apply pruning to our decision tree models, and we remove the part of a decision tree which prevent it from growing to its full depth and thus helps to avoid overfitting. So what happens that if our data set has a large number of features, in that case, the maximum depth of our tree is very large and it enters into the overfitting condition. In that case, our decision tree classifier does not generalize well on unseen data. So in order to avoid the overfitting, we do pruning with the decision trees. So there are two kinds of pruning, that is the pre-pruning and the post-pruning. In the pre-pruning, we apply pruning before completing the tree, and in post, first we complete the tree and then apply pruning. So what happens in pre-pruning? In pre-pruning, we set two important parameters, that is the number of leaves and the maximum depth. And we do not allow tree to grow beyond the maximum depth which is provided to the tree. So in that case, we control the development of the tree with the help of a maximum depth parameter to avoid the overfitting. On the other hand, in post pruning, after the tree is completed, we see the branches which we can trim without hurting the accuracy of the classifier. So we cut those branches and reduce the depth. This is done after completing the tree, that is called the post pruning. Here is the example of a pruning. This is our decision tree and its depth is 3, like 1, 2, and 3. So if this tree has entered into an overfitting condition, in that case, we have to perform the pruning. So we will cut the decision tree from here. You can see this is our prune tree. Here the depth of the tree has reduced from 3 to 2 in order to avoid the overfitting. So this is our prune tree. So in this lecture, we learn about the few important terms of the decision tree like root node, parent node, children node, leaf or terminal node, and especially the pruning. So I hope you understood the concept of these important terms in this lecture. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next lecture.